Due to the proliferation of childhood educational aids and Sega's popularity in the toy, games, and arcade arena, Sega and Sega Toys wanted to develop a product for the budding market of electronic educational tools. Sega had already developed and advanced many different technologies across the spectrum, and was able to utilize some of the different areas to develop this product. This system brought together pen technologies from arcade games like World Derby, and MyCard technologies from the SG-1000 system, seen in the Master System later on. One of the most interesting things for me is how this is all based on the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive CPU and GPU hardware. It's not hard to see why, since the Genesis was wildly popular by the early 90s and a ton of developers were creating content for it. Why not use a platform that could widely be adopted? So I guess to be a Sega Genesis hardware completionist, you'll need to grab one of these bad boys. Anyways, from that tech, the Pico was born. The Sega Pico was released in Japan in June 1993 and North America and Europe in late 1994. It ended up being the first of its kind to ship around the world, while being one of the most successful as well. Later on, it inspired competition in Leapfrog and VTech and other edutainment brands. The Pico only lasted 4 years in North America, but had a much longer history in Japan, as it was sold through the release of its successor, the advanced Pico Bina, in 2005. It originally came out in North America with a $139 price tag, and later re-released by a Majesco licensing deal. The system was rated for kids 3 and up, but I'd imagine usually kids 3 through 7 would be the target audience for this. The Pico came in a shape of a laptop, clamshell, or carrying case, which makes it easy to transport or move around as needed. I'm sure kids got a kick out of having their own briefcase as well, seeing their parents probably use one for work. At the time, I was too old to be interested in something like this, and largely skipped over it in places like Toys R Us and KB Toys. According to Sega Retro, there were many peripherals created and hardware variants released in Japan, seemingly in combination to the Sega Saturn platform. What's a console without software, right? Let's talk about that. The Sega Pico used software called Storyware that you would plug in. Some software would have also the moniker Deluxe Storyware labeling as well. Essentially, the Storyware was a large cartridge storybook hybrid that is fully interactive. You would plug it in, and it would actually be a little bit spring-loaded in the cartridge slot to give it a little bit more give. When you turn the page to continue the story will also continue on the TV. The Storyware was focused on education programs that combine often recognizable mascots and characters from popular books, TV, and game series. Many of the activities contained within the Storyware were centered around reading comprehension, counting activities, spelling, pair matching, music, and others. Altogether, I was able to find that there were 230 Storyware titles released worldwide through its lifetime. However, there is an indication that this might not be 100% correct. As far as I can see as well, there were only 20 titles to be released in the United States. Outside the United States, however, there were notable releases including Pokemon and a couple titles from Nintendo, which is very interesting. I've never heard of a Nintendo game being released on a Sega console before. One thing I love about Sega's approach to software at the time was to try and keep everything on brand and relational to each other. I could do a whole video on just box design, maybe later. Most of their supported consoles at the time had design cues that carry over from the Genesis, Sega CD, Sega 32X, Sega Game Gear, Pico, and of course the Saturn. Each have their own quirks, but I love how each have their similarities to be easily identifiable as being related and by Sega, but also they made it try to be easy to tell which console the software was for. There are some differences here and there, but most of them had the platform label on the left and bottom side of the front art, staying on the spine label, and then continuing to the back and keeping right justified. I also love how they kept the Pico and the Sega Genesis branding both red, but with slight differences. The Sega Genesis boxes had the stripe design, while the Pico had its light bulb logo repeated on a red background. I think they did that to subtly show the derivative nature of the hardware, but also make kids feel like they're using a system that was in line with the cool factor of the Genesis. It was very uniform, and for a company that was supporting as many platforms as they did at one time, I think it was a great marketing move. If you are a Sega Genesis collector, you may also be familiar with some of the early childhood marketed games that came out for the Genesis at the time under the Sega Club brand, most notably Echo Jr., Wacky World's Creative Studio, which came with a mouse, and Barney Hide and Seek. The Sega Club brand was to have unique products marketed towards younger audiences, including a canceled Genesis variant bundled with a mouse. I'm not sure what happened to this branding or if it meant to coincide with the Pico at one point, but I wanted to mention Sega's other efforts in this field at the time. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of the package. Okay, there we go. It's coming out. I wonder how much this was used. Oh, okay, so in the package they have another copy of the Richard Scarry Huckle and Lowly's Busiest Day Ever. So they got that in there. Looks like they used this copy but not the other one. I'm not sure where they got this one, but anyway, some instruction manuals that came out of it. A little bit about the additional exciting Pico storyware titles inside. So a little bit of an advertisement for what you would actually be able to get, including Tales in the Movie, Music Maker, Echo Jr., Mickey, A Year at Pooh Corner, I should say, Magic Crayons. So nice little advertisement there. Also a little bit more about what the Pico is and what it does. Hopefully by now you know what it is when you bought it, but if not, here's some of the software and some of the stuff that you can get. Wow, it even tells you, has a nice guide of which storyware title should I choose for my child. And it'll tell you about the ones that are already out there, about what skills it provides your child, what learning ability skills, and for what age. That's really great. That's really helpful for parents, especially back in the days where you couldn't just look it up online very easily, or most people didn't have that ability. So, and actually, I'm assuming Sega also didn't have that on their website at that time, but Magic School Bus. There weren't that many titles released in the US, so I wonder how much of this catalog actually represents the total catalog. User's manual. Of course, adult supervision recommended for setup. And it tells you exactly what you get in there. So I'm gonna keep that there. How to operate it. What the functions are. Like any good user manual. And a little dirty limited warranty in the back. Okay, well, let's take a look at the unit itself. Yeah, we have the Pico unit right here. Perfect. And yeah, it looks like it's a little battle scarred, which, I mean, it was a child's device back in the day, so it's fairly good for a child's device. Alright. And then, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this off. Okay, so this is the eject button here. So it allows you to, or I should say the unlatch button. This allows you to open it up. And then you've got the pen, which has a nice little storage right there at an angle. You can crank it down. Looks like again a little bit of a wear and tear, which is fine. Alright, this back here. Alright, a little dirty there, but this is the contact pad. There's a little bit of a spring. A little connect, yeah, you hear that switch? Making contact, that's cool. Big buttons. And yeah, that's got a place for the storybook to go. We've got a cartridge slot right here. And on and off. Right there. And of course, a little swing handle right here. Make it nice and easy for anyone to be able to carry it. Alright, so you put the cartridge in, and it looks like you can put it in at an angle. And just swing it back, because yeah, that cartridge port is actually on a hinge. You can swing back and forth. So you put it in here, straight up like this. You push it back so it locks in. And now, voila! You are all set to play your nice Pico system. And you can easily turn the page right there. And if you're done, of course, I'd recommend closing it up. You've got this right here, which you just lit. Oh, and it springs open. That's pretty cool. And you just take it out. And with each cartridge slot, it has a modified, looks like a Sega Genesis cartridge pinout right there. Let me grab the Sega Genesis cartridge. So in this case, I've got the Ooze right here. Let's compare the boards. A little bit different, a little bit smaller on the Pico. So it lines up a little bit smaller. Let me just kind of shift it. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got it right justified there. You see a little bit wider. And of course a little bit different shape. So it is based on the same technology, but alas, they did make changes to it, which is probably good for people who had both systems and people who, you know, try to cram it in each system. Some screw holes so you can get inside of it if you'd like, which I might eventually do, but not today for today's video. But let me zoom in there. Oh yeah. Put the serial number and the model and everything of this Pico. Made in Malaysia. 7-watt reading. Cool. On the bottom, little FCC sticker, patents, all the good stuff. Call 1-800-USA-SEGA if you got problems, of course. And on the side, this is where you have the audio video output, the DC input right there. And I just popped that off. It looked like you could just remove it, and you could. But this is where, if you had to service it and connect the pen, you could do that. It's got like a 4-pin connector on the inside there for the pen. Put that back on there. Alright, pop that in there. Perfect, nice and robust. Hard for a child to do it, but easier for me to do it. Anyways, this is the on-off switch. On, off. Very, very cut and dry. Sega Pico. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, okay. So I'm up at the top, up at the bottom, left and right, and I'm just hovering, and it shows it. Okay, so the buttons don't do anything because you have to turn the page. Let's turn it. Ah!
Everyone in Busy Town is busy doing their job.
Can you help the fireman put out the fire?
Now how do I do that? Ring the bell? Okay, so I ring the bell, he jumps on, he shoots the fire out. Cool. So you can kind of see along that it's like a stretch version of what you see on the window. You just click on things and interact with them. That's pretty cool. I like it. Uh-oh. Who's that? That's pretty interesting. I mean, you know, you click on the guys and it interacts, and that's pretty neat. Oh.
Please help me get back to Main Street.
Again, normally you'd be, you'd be on a table.
Whoa!
Oh, I crashed into the meter.
Uh-oh.
The original Grand Theft Auto, right? Am I right? Ah! I need some glasses here, right? Oh, don't run over the mouse. Oh. That's funny. I'm smash into you, guy. Yep. Wow. Who knew Grand Theft Auto was on a Sega Pico, huh? He's a maniac. I hit the police dog, nothing happens. Alright, well, where is Main Street? There we go. There you go, you're going back to Main Street.
Everyone in Busy Town is busy doing their job.
Hi, I'm Huckle.
Yeah, I could see how kids could just spend a little bit of time on each page. Let's flip the page. As soon as you grab it,
Bakery smells.
let me go back.
Oh, good.
Yep, okay, and it goes back a page.
Everyone in Busy Town is busy
And I
doing
go
their
forward.
job. The bakery
Buttons
smells
don't do anything in here, of
so
course.
good.
And again, you can use this, or you can click it right on the page, which is brilliant. Oh!
Find pairs of goodies that match.
All right. And then this is where you can use, the mat. A donut? No. Let's see if I can do this. Oh no. Can I do this?
Muffins.
Muffins. No.
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Please decorate the cookies.
What? You can decorate a cookie? Oh my gosh. Let's give this one hair. Yeah. Let's give this one an apron. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculously funny. What? Is that supposed to be like a nose? Okay. Are there more designs? There are more designs! Oh, that's fun.
Good work.
Thank you. Some of my best work. There's so many little cool things you can do.
Oh, good.
Paint them. Oh!
Match the bug's color of pink. Red.
Just running around, throwing stuff.
Good work.
Thank you.
Yellow.
Alright. Got the primary colors going here.
Good work.
Green.
Green? How do you make green? Does it actually tell you? Oh, it does. After a bit, it tells you.
You need to add another color.
Let's do it. Let's add another color.
Good work.
Oh, for the flowers.
Looks great.
Looks great. Well, thank you. Turn the page.
You
Oh,
love to draw, don't you?
yeah. What? Oh, well, that's cool. You can just draw these guys. And then take a paintbrush. Well, that's cool. Oh! Paint in the lines. Oh, it can erase. Well, that's cool. That's pretty neat. I think kids would love it. Let me try one more piece of software. Just pop this in.
Use the button.
Do what? Oh. Huh? What do I gotta do? I gotta go to Pepe? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. I failed. Oh, you're mean.
Try it again. Try it again.
Okay.
Try it again.
Alright. I will. What if I don't want to try it again? Oh wow, you can jump? That changes this game. Boom. Let's rock and roll. Oh, I don't have to get the Pepe. Oh, I gotta get to the flag. No. Mm-mm. No, sorry, Bob. You just hold it down. Yeah. That's cute.
You did it.
Thank you. I feel good about that. Am I supposed to find that shape? Maybe I should have read this. Oh yeah, yep. Wow. I should have probably read the instructions. I'm like, what am I supposed to even do?
Great job.
Well, yeah, 93 seconds took me to figure out.
Use the button.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I think I've had my fill. That was really fun, you know? I think, you know, I think as an early childhood, you know, like a fun activity piece, it's really cool. I think it's nice, and this unit works really well, so I'm very happy about that. I think this unit works very well. Yeah, so thank you. I'm glad this unit works. It's the first time I've ever had to try it out, and I hope you had some fun checking this out in my kind of small dirty setup here. But yeah, no, I appreciate you checking in and, you know, discovering this with me. Let me eject this. Yeah, pretty neat technology. I like how they made it easy to use and even baffled me for a second about what I was supposed to do. But I'm sure it was in the instructions. That's why it was important to keep instructions. Yep. Now I'll talk to you soon, and game on.